Hello everyone, my name is Amy with Eating Healthy, Spending Less. Today I am so excited to be sharing with you all about Cookie Week on my website. So this week over on eatinghealthyspendingless.com, you are going to see a plethora of holiday cookie recipes. One will pop up every day for the week, and I'm just so excited to share these recipes with you. All of these cookie recipes are gluten-free, which means there is no wheat flour in the recipes. They are also all vegan, which means they have no butter and no eggs, and no vegan butter either. Also, they are budget friendly. I really worked hard to make sure that these recipes are affordable for you and your family this holiday season. So today I'm going to be sharing with you Monday's recipe, which is a hot chocolate snickerdoodle. Let me show you how easy these are to make. Okay, so before I show you the recipe, let's talk ingredients real quick, because you are going to see an overlap of many of these ingredients throughout the week in these recipes. So the first main staple ingredient is oats. Oats are naturally gluten-free. There is no gluten ever in oats as they are being grown, like there is in wheat berries. However, the reason why so many people with celiacs cannot tolerate oats is not because of the oat itself, but it's where these oats are grown. So a lot of oat patches are grown near wheat patches. And when the wind picks up, or the air is circulating, or whatever, however you want to say that, sometimes some of the debris from the wheat patches can filter onto the oats. And that's where you can get some cross-contamination. So if you have celiacs, you can purchase gluten-free certified oats. And those oats have not been grown anywhere near a wheat patch. So you can rest assured that those oats are truly gluten-free. But for today, we are using these oats. My husband and I have been gluten-free for 8 years, but we do not have celiac. So we are able to tolerate oats that are not certified gluten-free. Though I do find it to be very important to purchase organic oats so that they're not sprayed with any sort of chemicals on them. So my oats actually come from Azure Standard. I've talked on this channel a lot about Azure Standard. I love them. It is a faith-based Christian company, if you didn't know. They are based out of Oregon, and it's a co-op group. So you purchase these items. You can purchase them in small quantities or in very large quantities. For instance, I purchased a 50-pound bag of oats back in August. I've replenished it once with a 25-pound bag, but these oats last a long time when you store them properly, and they are just absolutely delicious. So I am going to actually take these oats and grind them in my blender. I make my oat flour fresh every time that I make a recipe, because then you're getting all of those nutrients that are in these oats. And just remember, the more oats you eat, the better they are for you. That's right. Oats are one of the cheapest grains that you can buy, and it is by far one of the best grains you could ever eat. So just remember that. Oats are fantastic if you can tolerate them. So we eat oats every day in this house. Everything that we make practically has oats in it, unless I'm making something with my sourdough starter. So I'm going to grind these oats into a flour. That's going to be our oat flour for the recipe. But I couldn't stop there because oats are very dense. And so what helps them lighten up? Almond flour. Almond flour can be very pricey, but if you use it in small quantities, then of course we can stretch this bag a lot farther. This was actually purchased at Costco, and it's about $10 a bag. And so if that's too much for you, I completely understand. You could actually just skip the almond flour and do 2 cups of oats, but the consistency, the texture, it's not going to be as good as the original recipe. So keep that in mind. Another great place would be Azure Standard to pick this up. Lastly, the last flour ingredient in the recipe is going to be tapioca starch or tapioca flour, however you want to say that. You can purchase this at a health food store or on Azure Standard for the best price. This is what's going to give your cookies that chewy, melt in your mouth feel. You definitely want to use this. There's only about 1/4 of a cup used in each recipe. Actually, not even all the recipes, just a couple of them. But for today's recipe, 1/4 of a cup, and it's much needed. You definitely want this in your cookies. Okay, so now let's get these ingredients in our bowl, and I'll show you how easy these cookies are to make. Flaxseed meal is a great egg replacement. It also is very high in omega-3 fatty acids. This is fantastic for your health. Try and get some flaxseed meal in your diet every day. For the cookie recipe, we're using 2 tablespoons. So now we're going to add the wet ingredients, which is just 3 ingredients: maple syrup, water, and vanilla extract. Now, if maple syrup is not in your budget, I completely understand. Let me show you how easy it is to make simple syrup that you can use in place of maple syrup in the recipe. You simply add 1 cup of water to a small saucepan and 1 cup of sugar of any kind: sucanat, coconut sugar, brown sugar, white sugar, whatever you have. Add that to the saucepan and heat it over low heat until the sugar dissolves. Now you have a simple syrup. Stir it together real well, let it cool down before you use it in a recipe. If you add a hot simple syrup to this cookie recipe, it'll cook the oatmeal so fast and you'll have a clumpy mess. But simple syrup is a great replacement when you don't have maple syrup. So definitely keep that in mind. So we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of maple syrup along with 1/4 cup of water and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Okay, so we have stirred up our ingredients, and so now we're going to add our chocolate chips. Now, I really love this Enjoy Life brand. I get these at on Amazon and at Walmart. It's $4.88 at Walmart to get one of these, and we're just going to add 1/4 cup. I like to use the mini chocolate chips just because I think it's prettier in the cookie. Okay, mix that up. Okay, there we go. Now this dough isn't really at the right consistency to roll in your hand, so I like to use a cookie scoop. It keeps the cookies much more uniform, but you could also just use a spoon as well. But let me show you how to turn these into Snickerdoodles. We are going to add 3 tablespoons of this sugar, cane sugar. You can use any kind that you would like. This is just my favorite. 3 tablespoons and then 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Stir that together. If you don't want to use sugar, you could use coconut sugar or sucanat that has a lower glycemic index, which means it doesn't absorb quickly into your system. So diabetics can tolerate it much more easily. We're just going to take a scoop of our dough, plop it in, and give it a good shake, and then I like to help it out. Make sure every surface is covered, and there you go. ready to bake. These are going to bake in a 350-degree oven for 10 minutes. Check them after 8. Every oven is different, but for my oven, 10 minutes is the perfect time. When you check on them, you want them to be lightly firm on the top, but have some give like a cookie would, but you just don't want them to be super gooey. What I love about these cookies is they crinkle on top just like your traditional cookie, but they don't get huge. They kind of stay their cute little uniform size. And what's great about that is these cookies are perfect for a cookie platter for Christmas. I absolutely love them. If these cookies had butter and eggs in them, then they would look like more of a traditional Snickerdoodle where they kind of flatten out and spread out. But I actually love the looks of these cookies, and they are perfect hot chocolate Snickerdoodles. I am so excited that we got to make these cookies together today. All of the recipes will be linked down below, so definitely check them out. Give this video a big thumbs up, it really helps me out, and let me know in the comments which cookie recipe you hope to make first. I love making videos for you every week on handcrafted recipes using fresh ingredients in everyday living. And don't forget, this girl is on a budget. I will see you all next week. Bye-bye.